Hello, I am Austin Savage. I'm the writer and director of the Fall of Wallace Winter.
And I'm Nathan Stell. I'm the musical director of the Fall of Wallace Winter.
We're going to interview each other, and I'm going to ask the first question. So, where are you getting inspiration for the music for the show from?
I'm getting inspiration from the deadline. From the script, but also from watching. You know, like most. I'm really long-winded. I'm sorry, but most musicals, you'd already have the music. Like you'd give the music to the actors first thing, right? And they'd practice that as they started like into rehearsals. But I'm kind of happy that didn't happen because that would have meant that I wrote the music just based on my own interpretation of the play. But I started writing the music after I saw it, after I saw the first rehearsal, right? And so, or after I saw a complete run through actually, and so I got inspiration from the script, from what I know about you, and from what they were doing with the words they had, and so just on when I was supposed to be working at my actual job, I was taking time out with my guitar and writing some stuff.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Where? It's my turn. What do you want people to get out of this play? Well, no. If that, or a similar question, if you want to tweak it a little bit.
No, that's fine. I think what I want people to get out of this play is the idea that stories can exist anywhere. Because this had a ton of inspirations or influences.
Right.
And I have this genuine fear that's what has happened is that people are so raised in pop culture. Well, we all grew up watching television and film, and so we think that that's what relationships are supposed to look like, or that's the way people are supposed to function. And the weird thing is, we're watching film and television. I was influenced by film and television from 40, 50 years earlier. So there's just this vicious cycle of non-reality setting in. And I was just intrigued by the idea of telling a story that pulled from a bunch of different sources. A lot of them non-traditional. And I'm a huge David Foster Wallace fan, so the idea of Erwinner's strategy for the state tournament came from that. Some of it is personal. My father actually took up wrestling because my grandfather didn't know anything about that sport. Pee-wee's Playhouse, believe it or not, was a huge influence because of the Church of Subgenius and their ability to throw in kind of double entendre jokes that I enjoyed as a child and then got on a different level as I was much older. Gustav Holst, just because Mars is awesome. So it's these really kind of eclectic things. Tina Fey and 30 Rock. So all these things that I really enjoyed, I was just trying to see if I could smash them together and mock what we think is valuable, similar to what you were talking about. Because all the value systems we have anyways are created by writers and told to us by fictional people. So yeah, that's kind of where that came from. So what pieces inspired you? Actually, I just kind of rambled on, but
what pieces?
Yeah, well, as a musician or as an artist, I mean, you're an actor too, and you felt compelled to join this project. So, what made you feel compelled to join this project?
Let's see. I didn't know much about the content of the play, so I can't say it was that in the beginning because I didn't know much about it. I hadn't read it, but you told me a little bit about it, and I hadn't really worked with you in a long time. Like, we hadn't really done anything together in like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So it just seemed like a good. It seemed like the right time to do something together again. And I like things that make me nervous and things that make me kind of feel pressure. So I thought I'd never been like a musical. I'd never written songs for a play or for a musical before, and I thought that'd be a good challenge, and wanted to know if I could do it. So really, that's what it was. I wanted to work with you again, and I wanted to know if I could actually not suck at this.
Cool.
Okay. All right. We're about like a month into rehearsals, I guess, or something like that. 2 weeks, 3.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it come together. How is it changed now from from before rehearsal started, you obviously had written the play and you knew everything about it. What's the biggest thing that kind of changed or that surprised you in the rehearsal process as far as how it's kind of organically manifested?
Oh man, in all honesty, just kind of the insane accidents that are occurring because the cast is pretty eclectic and insane, and they're arguably just as kind of eclectic and insane as I am, which is a really, really rare thing. You know, like the whole dance routine was spontaneous, the knife stuff is spontaneous. Just these happy accidents and the fact that they're willing and brave and bold. In my head, it was very structured, and it was designed to be this very specific thing. It was designed to be this very specific kind of satire that mocked one thing, that it had all these eclectic influences, but it was designed to attack very specific sets. And then what happened is because the cast and the music, your contributions are just better than the ideas I initially had, we're able to do more. Autumn is just different than I saw in my head. Wallace is completely different than he was when he was originally performed. And then Belle and Harry didn't even exist, so they changed the dynamic. So I think that's it. I mean, it's a pretty fascinating experience the whole way around. But I pointed this out. I think it's just because everyone involved is awesome, and I think that's going to translate. So I think we're kind of long-winded, but we made it through okay. So thank you.